Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll show you the third part of the world quest between Pledge and Forgettance called Revelations from the Past, which is the last part of this world quest series. It will begin automatically after the last quest, Rite of the Bold, where we fought Pakal and he gave us this talisman. So after that we just have to get to this location here on the map. So let's teleport to this waypoint and head over to the location. In last quest, with proof of recognition secured, Monkey informs the traveler that they can now proceed to obtain the token left by the Sage of the Stolen Flame. He directs them to the entrance of the ruins near the Children of Echoes, marking the next step in the journey. After you get close to this ruin, you will see some rift hounds here, and our little friend and Monkey are also surprised to see them. So let's defeat them. After defeating the Abyss monsters, Monkey declares that the time has come. He instructs the traveler to place the proof given by Pakal onto the platform, signaling the next step in their quest. And then we just have to place the talisman we got from the last quest here to open this ruin. So let's place it. A note appears on screen saying that the next part of the story is important. To fully enjoy and understand it, you should only continue when you have enough time to go through it without interruptions. If you're ready, just click on the Continue Quest option. The group reaches the ruins of the Sage of the Stolen Flame, only to find the entrance blocked by a strange barrier. Paimon struggles to recall the Sage's name, while Monkey confirms that the trial has already begun. He explains that brute force alone wouldn't break the barrier. Only the correct method will open the way forward. Monkey shares the Sage's beliefs, stating that he had stolen the knowledge of phlogiston from the dragons and, perhaps out of guilt, hoped for a future where humans and Saurians could live together as equals. The trial reflects their vision, requiring both a human and Saurian to stand in their respective positions to receive the token. Paimon, though somewhat confused by the explanation, confidently claims that their bond with our little friend is strong enough to meet the challenge. Encouraged by her enthusiasm, the traveler and our little friend prepare to work together and open the barrier, blocking their path into the ruins. And a tutorial will pop up, which I will explain to you as we go. Basically, it's just saying that during this trial, we can switch to our little dragon's perspective, allowing us to move forward together. So let's switch to our little dragon's perspective and stand in the green circle to the right of the platform. And as humans, we have to stand in the orange circle to the left of the platform. And the seal opens. Humans, orange circle, our dragon friend, the green circle. Let's remember this, as we'll be using this quite a lot in here. Paimon notes that the place has been abandoned for a long time. Our little friend lets out a roar and Paimon urges him to keep up. And here on the right side of this corridor we will find the first teleport waypoint. Let's unlock it. And let's go. And wait, there's a chest up here, so let's unlock it first. Keep in mind that we will collect all the chests of this area in this video, as there are only a few here, and all of them will be very close to us during the quest. And we will not come back here during the chest hunt videos. So here we go, chest number 1, an exquisite chest. Now let's jump in. Our little friend lets out hesitant roars, and Paimon asks if they are scared of the height. She reassures them, suggesting they cling to the traveler or hold her hand for safety. We can just close the glider, we won't take damage, as there is a pool of water down here. Now let's go through this gate. This is the first region. Let's approach that lever. A voice echoes in our head, chosen of dragons. Open this door and enter the hallway. From here, step into the audience hall. The group arrives at what seems to be the real entrance to the ruins, but a strange barrier blocks the way, just like at the first tunnel. Paimon observes that the traveler must stand under the yellow device on the left, while our little friend needs to position themselves under the green device on the right, though this time the platforms are much higher up. Sensing hesitation, Paimon reassures our little friend that they'll only be apart for a short while, and will still be able to see each other. She encourages them to roar loudly if they get scared, promising to wave back to ease their voice. However, our little friend seems more excited than frightened, leaving Paimon puzzled about when they're actually scared and when they're just having fun. With the mood lightened, Paimon urges our little friend to move into position so they can activate the devices and open the gate. Once it's unlocked, they'll reunite in the front of the door and continue deeper into the ruins. Let's operate the lever and see what it does. Okay, operate it again. Now, let's go to the other side of this broken bridge. And stand here. Then change perspective to our little dragon. And operate the lever again. And let's go up here. Oh wait, let's go to the elemental monument on the other side first. And cross this bridge. Just get close enough to use your basic attack here while using the skill, and the elemental monument will be dug out from the ground. We can interact with it now. Okay, let's go up there now toward the green circle. Climb here. Then change perspective to ourselves. And switch to a pyroble user. I'll go with Ember. After that, use a charged attack on the elemental monument, which will light it up. And open the path for our little friend over there. So now, they can reach the green circle. We can switch back to our original lineup now if we want. Then let's change perspective to our little friend and get inside the circle. And the puzzle is complete. With the barrier now open, Paimon proudly declares that she knew the mechanism would be easy for them. She congratulates our little friend on a job well done and remarks that they're becoming more reliable, which makes her happy. Though she jokingly adds that they might already be more dependable than she is. When our little friend playfully responds, Paimon protests, warning them not to side with the traveler against her. Our little friend then makes a series of curious noises, seemingly asking if Paimon is upset. She reassures them that she is neither angry nor crying, but gives in and mimics their roar to humor them. After the conversation continues, the traveler notes that they feel like they can understand our little friend better, and Paimon suggests that spending time together naturally builds that kind of connection. She compares it to how she can sometimes predict what the traveler is about to cook just by watching them grab ingredients. Bragging about her terrifying abilities, Paimon suddenly realizes she's getting hungry and suggests they hurry up and find the token. Once they do, she promises a grand feast to celebrate. With renewed energy, the group sets off once more. Now, let's go deeper through this gate. And he'll just follow us. Here we'll find the second chest, a precious chest, and also an iridescent inscription. As they walk up the iridescent inscription, the voices echoes in our head again. Swear upon this, Balank, the one who ascends to realms above to protect all beings, who bestows seeds of flames to bring light to all beings. When your descendants return from the flames, none shall stop them. As we glide down here, we have to move to the right side. And he will just follow us, no worries. Wow, this corridor looks good. Here we will find another hidden teleport waypoint. Let's unlock it. And then let's go through this gate. Okay, never mind. This room looks even better. As the group approaches the recent inscription, our little friend suddenly reacts with an unfamiliar sound, drawing Paimon's attention. She notes that it's the first time she's heard them make that noise, and turns to examine what caught their interest. Before them stands a massive mural depicting two figures, each holding a golden ring. One of them, however, has an oddly shaped head. At first puzzled, Paimon wonders aloud if it might be a dragon. Realizing the resemblance, she recalls a story she recently heard about two figures talking something significant. The traveler connects it to the discussion between Pekel and Bankyu, the tale of the first Pyroarchon and the Sage of the Stolen Flame. Paimon hesitates, realizing that if the mural represents them, then one of them might have been a dragon. Since the Pyroarchon is unlikely to be one, that would mean the Sage of the Stolen Flame was actually a dragon. The connection deepens when Paimon recalls the golden designs they saw on the floating island. If the sage was behind their fall into Natlan and is linked to dragons, then the chosen of dragon message might not have referred to the great Apatlosaurus, but to the sage instead. The traveler suggests another possibility, that the one chosen might actually be our little friend. At that moment, an ancient voice echoes, "Chosen of dragons, come forward. Pass through the corridors to your left and right. The paths will unfold before your eyes." Paimon wonders if they must split up, as the entrances seem to have separate barriers and mechanisms, one path for humans and one for dragons. She turns to our little friend, concerned about whether they're ready for such a challenge. She reassures them that if it feels too much, they can always wait and try again later. Our little friend hesitates for a moment, but then lets out a determined roar. Paimon smiles, calling them brave but reminding them to retreat if things get too dangerous. The traveler encourages them, expressing belief in their abilities. Paimon, however, scolds the traveler for saying things our little friend might not understand, only for them to excitedly roar back in response. With their resolve straightened, the group prepares to take on the next trial. Let's get this viewpoint first. Our little dragon will have to enter the gate with the green circle, and we would have to enter the other gate with the orange circle over it. So let's stand here as a human, and after that change perspective to our little dragon. And move in here. Then we go our separate ways, for now. And the iron gates shut behind us, leaving us the only option to move forward. So let's go deeper as our little dragon. You can collect this crystal beetle to gain some phlogiston energy if you want. There's the green circle up there. Let's switch back to ourselves and see what's here. So basically when you touch these lasers, the lava rises up. So be careful. So let's go down now. Oh, for a second I was gonna take a dive in this lava. That wouldn't be good. Just use a normal attack on these rocks to break open a path. And go to the other side. Be careful not to touch the lasers. Then get up these stairs. Here we will find an exquisite chest. Let's collect it. After that, just change perspective to our little dragon again. Be careful not to try and swim in the water here. You can't swim and you might have to come back again. Just follow this road, using the skill. Okay, it's just a beetle. And this one's just never flame seed. And then attack here. And it will spawn an exquisite chest. Attack here as well to break the stones, revealing the tremulous crystals, and we just have to hit all of them. And this big crystal will fall down, creating a bridge. Let's cross it. Then go inside this hollow tree trunk. And here we are. We need to make these crystals fall now. Some beetles again. An attack here near these stones which will spawn an exquisite chest. So collect it. And there's the tremulous crystals again. Let's use the skill and attack here. 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 Here and here. Then these crystals will fall one after the other, like a domino effect. Last one connecting us to the platform. Let's go towards it. After this, looks like we have to switch perspective again to ourselves. And let's see. Maybe touch these lasers and run up the stairs, which should increase the lava level. And never mind, these lasers aren't that high up. We can just jump over it from here. So let's go. The floor in here will slide back in, but don't worry, just slide and go left, and we will find somewhere to land here. But be careful, these lasers are everywhere here, just like in the movies. You can use a short character to easily pass through all this, or use sprint, which will also decrease our height for a moment. Let's see, Freyna. No, her crown might hit lasers. Maybe Bennett. Okay, never mind, we touched it. Maybe we're done. Oh, okay, we survived. I guess lava doesn't kill you instantly. And my Bennett has a lot of HP, so we survived. Now let's operate this, which will deactivate the lasers and open up this gate for us. Let's go. So just use the tanky character if you're not sure about all this, and you should be okay, hopefully. Here we will find a lever. Let's operate it. And the path will open up. On the other side as well, where our little dragon is. Let's go in. Be careful here again. There are lasers here as well. And a precious chest. Let's go up the stairs again. There are elemental monuments here, but don't worry about them for now. Just sprint right through these lasers until you reach the top. Okay, I missed it. And lava will rise up, activating all these monuments at once. Then operate this mechanism quickly, which will open up this gate. We will also find the orange circle here, and another lever. Let's operate it, which does the same thing as last one. Now if we operate it again. Okay, I see. Let's switch back. Operate the lever again first, which will move the first platform down below. Now let's stand on the circle here and change perspective to our little dragon. So basically we just have to stand on this platform here. I got too close to the Arculus. It's okay. Let's switch perspective to ourselves and operate this lever again, which will move our little dragon up near the green circle. Then switch perspective again. Now just walk up to the circle. And get in. Then the platform will automatically move up to this door. Just get in. Here's another green circle. Let's stand on it. Then switch perspective to ourselves and go up the stairs. Also, the lever here will not work after this. Here's the sealed door, and in front of us we will find the orange circle we have to stand on. As they move forward, Paimon spots another mural and eagerly examines it. This one depicts a massive black dragon, a tree, and a strange figure. As she wonders about its meaning, the screen splits to show both perspectives. Paimon and the traveler on one side, and our little friend on the other. Our little friend growls, confused but alert, while an ancient voice echoes once more. Chosen of dragons, come forward. Reach out your hand. Behold, the sin that will obliterate all. The traveler, drawn to the mural, hesitates before reaching out. Suddenly, vision floods their mind. They witness colossal wings from beyond this world, once grand and mighty, now shrouded in darkness. A pitch-black flame engulfs the land, nearly withering the great white tree. The final and voice glow shatters, reduced to a faint shimmer, clinging to the lost leaves of severed roots. The ancient battlefield has left only ruins in its wake. From the shadows, specters stir, filth surge forth, and evil lurks in the dark. The only thing left is the faint glow of the last leaves, swaying in the sea of memory. Then the vision shifts. The traveler realizes this sight does not belong to them. A whisper drifts by their ear, soft yet unsettling. You will understand someday. The words seem amused, yet they aren't meant for the traveler. In a sudden catastrophic glimpse, they see an entire city annihilated, buildings crumbling, massive monoliths suspended mid-air before shattering into dust. The giant dragon with piercing pupils and a small human plummet from the sky together. As a sorrowful song echoes, the agony of dragonkind given form. Then they see a man rising from the heart of the fallen dragon, his entire being wreathed in flames. The vision ends. Our little friend lets out a distressing growl, seeming to sense something as well. Paimon, concerned, calls out to the traveler. She notes that they stood frozen, unresponsive, and asks what happened. The traveler, still processing, admits that explaining it won't be easy. Paimon frowns, confused she didn't say anything, even though they were both looking at the same mural. She wonders aloud if the traveler is just far more perceptive than she is. Before she can say more, our little friend suddenly roars from another direction. Their voice carries urgency, and Paimon immediately panics, fearing something has gone wrong. Wasting no time, she urges the traveler to hurry. We need to find our little friend before it's too late. Now we can go through this door. As we broke the seal, in here we will find a precious chest. Let's collect it. And up ahead we will find the orange circle. And up there is our little friend. Paimon reassures our little friend that they're close by and they'll be able to meet up soon again. Now let's stand on it and change perspective to our little dragon and jump onto the green circle. And we finally meet again. Let's go. But just then a giant beam shoots through the lava, creating a path right through it, while forming stairs leading us in. As the lava path reveals itself, Paimon eagerly declares that the trial is nearly over. She dismisses the warnings from the Saurian Relics Association and the Children of Echoes, saying the challenge wasn't as dangerous as they made it seem. However, as they approach the next step, the reality of the situation sinks in. The pit below is deep and ominous, and even Paimon hesitates for a moment. She reassures our little friend, who seems uneasy, but the tension remains. Sensing something is still troubling him, the traveler gently asks if he saw something strange. Our little friend lets out a few cautious roars, reluctant to say more. But Paimon and the traveler encourage him, reminding him that they are in this together. The inscription then echoes once more. Chosen of dragons, proceed. Eliminate the enemy from the realm beyond. Then you will be granted entry into the final paradise. A warning, a challenge, or perhaps a prophecy. With danger surely awaiting them below, they decide to pause for a moment. Paimon suggests resting before pressing forward, knowing that whatever lies ahead won't be easy. And another note appears on screen, warning us that the battle ahead would be tough. So let's get a proper lineup. We will just have to defeat some Rift Hounds and the Golden Wolf Lord from an Azuma world boss. It isn't that difficult, so no need to worry. Just heal up if you need to. And also we got an achievement after this, named O Red Sea, part and clear the paths. Let's start walking towards the lava now. With a deep breath, Paimon leads the way, half joking about the lava collapsing mid-crossing. But her humor doesn't land well. Our little friend lets out a nervous whine, clearly not amused by the thought. Realizing her mistake, Paimon quickly backtracks, reassuring him with a laugh, trying to lighten up the mood. Then puffing up with confidence, she says that even if it really does, Paimon will swoop down and scoop the two of us out. Though her bravado is questionable, her heart is in the right place. With danger looming and uncertainty ahead, they take their next step together, into the lava and into whatever trial awaits beyond. Catastrophe's Edge. As Paimon and the traveler explore deep underground, she is astonished to discover something hidden beneath the lava, something she never expected. She realizes just how far they've descended and recalls that a sage with an incredibly difficult name had hidden a token in this very place. A mysterious voice echoes through the cavern, speaking of a pledge made with Belank. It declares that from this point onward, the future of both humans and Saurians will unfold as it is meant to. But one thing remains certain: only the enemy cloaked in shadow shall never be forgiven. The voice challenges the chosen of dragons, urging them to prove their strength by confronting a mighty foe. Only by overcoming this trial can they ascend the sacred mountain from this place. Before Paimon and the traveler can process these words, a small creature lets out a growl. Suddenly the air grows cold, sending a chill down Paimon's spine. Alarmed, she senses something emerging from the darkness, and with rising panic, she exclaims as an unknowing presence begins to reveal itself. Okay, let's defeat them. And then the wolf lord appears. It seems a bit different than usual though. Also, our characters will not fall here because of our little friend, while we also get power-ups. Wait, what's going on with him? Maybe he awakened his dragon powers or something. After the battle, Paimon notices that our little dragon has grown stronger, possibly awakening some new power, maybe even the power of the Flame Lord. She acknowledges how impressive our little dragon was during the fight, and how much he provided. However, it seems this newfound strength isn't something he can use freely. Paimon recalls that Monkey had warned against relying on such powers too often. With a sigh, she turns her attention back to their goal, wondering where the sage with the difficult name hid the token. All she wants now is to find it quickly and leave with our little friend. Let's touch the inscription now, which will teleport us to this beautiful place. Chosen of dragons, come forth unto the final sanctuary of my people. Now let's approach each of these inscriptions. Worship and receive, you who would protect all beings. Worship and receive, you who would bring light to all beings. Come forth, chosen of dragons, come forth. For the inscribed hour has arrived, the inscribed hour has come. Come forth, chosen of dragons, present the amulet. In return, you shall be permitted to set foot on this sacred mountain. Now let's approach the stone tablet in the middle. As Paimon and our little friend watch, the stone tablet suddenly lights up. When the traveler touches it, golden lines glow brilliantly, triggering a vision of fragmented memories. The great dragon's eyes split by a sword, a broken seal misread as a whole, and 4 white discs scattered in different places. A white disc appears beneath the traveler, overshadowed by great wings, as a voice chants, "Glory, glory, the entire empire, Natlan." A figure before an empty throne picks up a disc, turns and looks at them. Suddenly Paimon's voice snaps the traveler back to reality. She panics when they froze after touching the tablet. Nearby, a round plate with golden etchings has appeared. which Paimon believes to be the token they were searching for. As the traveler processes the vision, Paimon remarks that they must be tired after everything they've done. Looking at them, she notes its resemblance to the discs in the mural, held by both humans and dragons. With their mission complete, she excitedly suggests taking it back to Manchu. And we completed the world quest between Pledge and Forgettance, while also getting the achievement, Gold of the Sun, together with his blood. Also keep in mind guys, the quest dialogue will change if you completed the quest Lost Traveler in the Ashen Realm before this quest. So we also got this item, Golden Entreaty, and the Cornerstone of Star and Flames, which is the constellation level up material for the Pyro Traveler. Now let's open each of these chests here. Here's a luxurious chest. This chest will give us another iridescent inscription. So we have 2 of this now. And then this precious chest, which has normal stuff. And then the last one, a precious chest, which contains 1 shattered night jade. It's an important item we will need later on. And also, if you forgot any chests or ever want to come back here, you can just teleport to this underground waypoint. Go down the stairs and follow the same route as before. Enter Catastrophe's Edge again and touch the inscription here directly, since there's no fight anymore. You'll be back here instantly, so we won't be returning here again during the chest hunt. By the way, the quest isn't complete yet since we still need to show Monkey the token we got. He should still be waiting for us at the entrance to the ruins. We'll receive a small quest related to this called The Road Ahead. I've already completed it, but I'll guide you on where to go. It's just a conversation, nothing complicated. Simply teleport to this waypoint. It's the fastest way to reach him. Then head outside from here. You'll find him up ahead. Over here. So just talk to him. Paimon excitedly announces their return and Monkey sighs relief, admitting he grew anxious while waiting. Seeing the token, he is stunned to realize it's a golden entreaty, a relic once handled by the Sage of the Stolen Flame. Though briefly tempted to try it, he understands they need it to save our little friend. However, he has no leads on the second token. When the traveler mentions Natlan, Monkey identifies it as ancient ruins forbidden by his tribe and the Sorin Relics Association due to past expeditions vanishing. Though he can't help further, Paimon reassures them they've learned enough. Grateful for this discovery, Giver is off to record his findings. And that's all. Now the rewards from it were simple. I hope this video helped you complete the quest and also learn the story of the quest. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.